And so there's 100,000 screaming, wonderful, loving people lapping up every word of President Trump's rally Saturday afternoon in Wildwood, New Jersey. Our pal Joe Piscopo was there, and he had a chance to visit with the 45th president of the United States before the rally. Joe is the morning host on our station in New York City, AM 970, The Answer in New York. Of course, you know Joe from Saturday Night Live and from Screen and TV, and now he's become the really beloved morning show host on AM 970, The Answer in New York. Here was a little bit of his visit with President Trump at the big rally in Wildwood, New Jersey.
Mr. President, am I holding up okay, sir?
Yeah, holding up good. You look great.
President Trump, we are honored. On behalf of Salem Media, AM 970, and all your friends, Hugh Hewitt and Seb Gorka and Mike Gallagher, they send their very best. Thank you for taking the time. You have people here. There's 100,000 people out there. Welcome to Wildwood, New Jersey, sir.
Looks like 100,000 people. That's a good sign. That's like a poll.
It is.
That's a poll in its own way.
But it's more than a rock concert. When you flew in, when Trump Force One just went over, did you see all the people out there? Good people. You know what, President Trump? Decent people, blue-collar people, the heart and soul of America, sir.
They're great people, and they work hard, and that's all they want to do. They want to work, and they want to love the country. Absolutely.
It's so true. And if I may, you know, we're down in Wildwood, and Congressman Ben Drew is going to do an initiative about those wind turbines. They're going to ruin it. Can you do something with legislation federally, sir?
You're going to knock it out in the first day in office. We're not going to have them. We're not going to have them. Frankly, they take subsidy. They cost a fortune, and it's a lousy form of energy.
Yeah, it really is. And if I may, and everybody from AM 970, our show, knows that I want to ask this question. Off of the opportunity zones that were brilliant in the last administration, can we form a presidential inner city task force? I would love to volunteer.
Congratulations, you're on it. I've known you a long time. We're not going to do better than you, Joe.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have so many people ask me to ask you that question. This will be great. And we have to let you go. You have so many people. But if I may, the Abraham Accords, Nobel Prize worthy, peace in the Middle East in our lifetime like we've never seen before. How long will the next administration take to turn it all around?
Well, you know, we could turn that, and we started it and got it done from the standpoint of the four countries, tough countries, smart countries, those four. They were leaders. Yeah. It should have all been done right now. It should have been completed. They haven't done one country since we got it, and that's what the whole thing is about. They haven't done, think of it, they haven't done one country. We had it all done, and I think we would have had every country done, including Iran. You know, Iran was broke. They wanted to make any deal. Now they're rich again because of Biden.
That's so true. And permission to speak casually, sir?
Yes.
I miss the early days, the old days in New York, when it was the Donald and it was Jersey Joe, and there were charity work, and then you and Melania at Bedminster. How many charities that we did? Can we get back to the old days, Mr. President?
We are, and I think we're going to make these even better than the old days. That's what it's all about. That's why I'm doing this. We're going to make it better than the old days. And, you know, we had 4 incredible years, and then this guy came along and he destroyed our country. What he's done with millions and millions of people coming in from prisons and mental institutions, and they're all over the place. And what a shame! But we're going to turn it around. We're going to make it greater than even before. We're going to make it greater than ever before.
And this guy Biden turning his back on Israel, Mr. Trump.
He doesn't have any idea. Look, I don't think. You think he turned his back? Somebody turned his back. I don't think he has any idea what's happening.
With great respect and honor to see you, Donald Trump, thank you. Well, am I holding up okay, sir? You're the guy that looks great. Thank you. And I miss the old days. Thank you for being so gracious. Thanks for all that you do. Good. Thank you, President Trump. Godspeed, sir. With respect, sir. Thank you.
All right. Our friend and colleague, Joe Piscopo, getting a few moments with President Trump before this epic rally, and a rally where there was an awful lot of love. And I felt that, too, when I was in Wilmington, North Carolina a couple of weeks ago. President Trump mentioned that in the rally. People forget that. You go to a Trump rally, how about that? No riots? What a shocker. No fights, it was just people who want a different direction in this country from the past 4 years. We'll catch up with Jersey Joe Piscopo himself, and find out what the mood with the atmosphere, the crowd was like. We'll talk to Joe Piscopo next here in the Relief Factor studios. Also invite you to join us as well. It was, again, the media can play its games and be silly and vacuous and distracting. Having 100,000 people come to the Jersey Shore on May the 11th is extraordinary. And something is happening, and we all know it. 800-655-MIKE, 800-655-6453. Many thanks to Joey Hudson filling in for me Friday as I attended my son Trevor's graduation ceremony at University of Texas, Arlington. He got his master's degree in education. Real proud of Trevor. He has survived so much, and he is not only a survivor, but he perseveres and he thrives. And we were all there with Lily and my oldest son, Brian, and our dear friends, Peg and Joey Hudson. Congratulations, Trevor. And again, thanks to Joey for filling in. 800-655-MIKE. We'll talk to Jersey Joe and get your reaction to all of it coming up here on this Monday episode of the Mike Gallagher Show. Glad you're here.
Mike Gallagher.
Shared with you, Joe Piscopo is the morning host on AM 970, The Answer, New York City. Of course, he's an actor, comedian.
Mike Gallagher.
Shared with you, Joe Piscopo is the morning host on AM 970, The Answer, New York City. Of course, he's an actor, comedian. He was a cast member on Saturday Night Live from 1980 to 1984 with a number of beloved characters. Of course, movies like Johnny Dangerously, Wise Guys, Dead Heat, Sidekicks, and, of course, a longtime friend of Donald J. Trump. Here he is joining us from I believe you're in New Jersey, right, Jersey Joe?
I'm at the house. Mike, how are you, man?
I'm great.
I put a tie on for you. I put on my Jim Jordan outfit. I got the Jim Jordan outfit, no jacket. All right?
I love it. Well, congratulations on the interview and going to Wildwood Saturday. In fact, I just got a text message on the MyPillow text line saying Joe Piscopo's interview with President Trump was fantastic. So good and refreshing to hear someone speaking to President Trump with such respect. And you know, you and I talked about this a couple of years ago. I know exactly where we were standing in the halls of AM 970, The Answer, when you said, you know, so many people on the left are just so vicious. They're so cruel. They're so mean. There wasn't a lot of meanness or viciousness at the Trump rally in Wildwood, was there, Joe?
No, and with all that's going on today, all the that you have to report this morning, as I did this morning, I actually diverted from all the court stuff, you know. So I said, when I put a message out to the Trump office, because I had an appearance to make on Saturday, and then we put a message out and just saying if the president needs us, I'm going to be in Jersey. Well, they got back, Mike, and they said, yeah, the president would like to chat with Joe, audio or on camera. You know, you got about 6-7 minutes before he does 100 pictures, before he goes in front of 100,000 people. And I'm going like, look at the loyalty, look at the remembering the friendship that I've known Donald Trump for many years, 40 plus years, and he didn't forget that. Mike, I gotta tell you, because you're my friend, you wrote the book on decent broadcasting. You did, Mike Gallagher. I'm not just stroking you because we've known each other too long. When we met in the Empire State Building, and I went on, I was a diehard Democrat, and they said Mike Gallagher would like to talk to you. I go, Gallagher, he's a right-wing guy, isn't he? Like that. And we had the best chat, and I walked out of that studio saying, what a great guy this guy is. And you're right, now, my old party, I'm an old Democrat, I don't know why it's so vicious. So I made it a point that for Donald Trump to show me that respect, Mike, I got to tell you, and I say to your vast audience, all the millions of people watching now and listening now, that he cleared an area of the VIP tent for his old pal Piscopo. It was just, I walked in expecting to see a litany of television cameras, a litany of radio. There was a VIP section, and they opened up a section for me where they were going to do the pictures. You know who was there? The cameraman, Secret Service, and your old pal Piscopo. And that was it. The motorcade pulls up, and I could see through the sliver of the tarp that was down, and I could see the lights on, and I saw, Donald Trump's presence. Elvis was in the building, man, and he walked in, and it was like two old guys just catching up after not talking for a little bit. Hey, I said, hey, Joe, you look good. It was just, and he deserves that respect, right?
Well, and he does, but we've talked about him being kind of an everyman. Here's a billionaire. He's the last guy you'd think is an everyman, but he is. All through the campaigns over the years that we've done phone interviews with him, my staff would always be amazed. They'd say, Eric Hansen would say, it's the craziest thing. It's not, please hold for the president on line 6. It's him. It's like, hey, it's Donald Trump. I'm ready to talk to Mike Gallagher. He connects to firefighters and police officers.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a decency to him that they never really showcase, and they lie about him. The joke about Hannibal Lecter, which was hysterical. Oh, wonderful guy, that Hannibal Lecter. And then CNN, they did a headline: Donald Trump praises Hannibal Lecter. I mean, but they do that all the time. It's like they're doing everything they can. But Joe, I don't know if you feel it. I think you felt it in Wildwood Saturday. I'm feeling it all over the country. Something's happening in this country. Something is stirring. Something is changing. They're freaking out about the polls. Every poll indicates he's going to win and going to win big. What about you? I try to be cautiously optimistic, but give me the Joe Piscopo perspective on how November the 5th is going to go.
Well, I'll tell you. And also, I gave you a shout out. Did you hear the shout out at the beginning?
I did. I played it. Are you kidding me? It was so kind of you. Thank you.
I said because I know he loves you. He loves you. You're real. I mean, he was nice to me, but you're his favorite radio guy. I know that. You know, and he always says that. So I said Hugh Hewitt. I mentioned Stock Worker, and I go, and Mike Gallagher says his personal best, and he loved it. He had a real big grin. You know what? I'll tell you, Jersey is snarky. We got an attitude. What are you looking at? You know, how you doing? Right. How you doing isn't a question. How you doing is just a statement. You don't have to. I don't want to know. I don't particularly care how you're doing. It's just an expression. How you doing? That's just the expression. I've never seen heart and soul of New Jersey, the core of America in New Jersey. I've not seen it. There was goodness in that crowd. There were 100,000 people. When I went from the press area and then they took me in the back to do the interview with President Trump, I must have stopped and taken 100 pictures. Everybody was so decent. You know what, too, Mike? I could see blue collar, man. Blue collar. And I said that to the president. Decent, hardworking people. And they have been disenfranchised. They have been forgotten about. And when Jersey starts having a heart and a soul like that and feeling we're losing the country, that is the seismic change that you're seeing. And they couldn't, you can't, I got to tell you, and I know I'm all still fired up from Saturday. It was bigger than any rock concert I've seen. There's not a rock star that could draw like this. There was an energy in the room, not a Yankee ball game. I'm telling you, I've never seen it like this. And I'll tell you what, and it's not like a pro-Trump thing. It's just that a guy that is being vilified that represents all those good people that I was just talking about. The heart. I mean, all this
lawfare has backfired, Joe. And ordinary decent people say, no, if they can do it to him, they can do it to any of us. We're going to support him, and we're going to see how it all goes. Kudos to you, my friend, for a wonderful interview. I'm glad you got to go. And and listen, there's a reason you've become so popular and beloved in the mornings on AM 970. The Answer. You got a decency, you've got a class that is the envy of the industry. So keep it up, my friend. You keep fighting the good fight, Joe.
Following your path, Mr. Gallagher. I love you, man. Thank you.
Love you, too. The one and only Joe Piscopo here on the Mike Gallagher Show. I felt the same thing in Wilmington, North Carolina a couple weeks ago. There's something happening in this country. Do you feel it? 800-655-MIKE.